Good, and relax your hands down. You may see a message on your screen that I've now invited my YouTube crew in. Drop your chin. Don't worry, your names and faces are perfectly anonymous. Let's do 6 neck rolls. 1, 2, 3. Relax your shoulders. Simple human ranges of motion. 4. Some days you want complex and convoluted and intricate. Some days you just want damn simple. Other way. 1. Today is one of those days I just want simple. 2. I think I have a thinking problem. 4. I'm going to do a 28-day program for my thinking problem. 5. Good. Now I'm going to relax my head down for 22 blessed seconds. If you know ujjayi breathing, you make a little whispery seashell sound at the back of your throat. It drowns out the constant caterwauling of my mind. It soothes my laryngitis. Yoga is the stilling of the movement of our mind. Yoga chitta vritti narodaha. Sanskrit. Okie doke. Let's switch across of our legs just to feel different. Okay, we started with some very generic shoulder shrugs, but these are a little more involved. You just beat your thenar eminences together of your wrist, just pound. It's a little pressure point. What does this do? I like it. It grows your bank account. How's that? Good. Now my cat likes to go purr, purr, purr like this, except do that down in here, down in your hip joint. Kind of smush in there a little bit. It's quite a juncture down there. A lot of lymph, a lot of blood, a lot of stuff. Just push in there. Good, now I'm going to push down as I crest with my shoulders over the top. Now, if you're a skilled long-term yoga teacher or something, you can maybe straighten your arms when you go over the top. And if you can't, you found your tribe, because many of us aren't circus performers or acrobats. But if you are, welcome. Good, now, sometimes I inadvertently levitate. So I'm pushing my hips down, straightening my arms, dropping my chin, closing my eyes. And I'm doing ujjayi breathing. If you don't know what that is, just make a little throaty sound at the back, whispery sound at the back of your throat. Lean forward a little, lean into your life. It's not a dress rehearsal. Good, now my hippies are open and I like it. I'm gonna go back my regular cross. If you can do a more complex cross, there's 100 different ways to cross your legs in yoga. Palmar flexion of your wrist, vulture. You're a vulture capitalist. By the way, I'm an inveterate punter. I can't even stop even when I have laryngitis. Let's just go side to side like people that are going side to side. I run out of metaphors sometimes. Good, now we're going to take the back of our wrists into this funky place in our hips, and we're going to stretch our wrists and open our hippies. How can you say, Greg, that you never get sick when you're complaining of having laryngitis and a migraine headache today? Because some days are better than others, damn it. And even yoga teachers feel weird sometimes. A lot of the times. Good, now back up over and around and down. 1. Do any of you store tension in your neck, back, and shoulders? Is that a stupid question? 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a very friendly group. Everybody has their camera on tonight. So it's good to see you, my good friends. 6, 7, 8. Hi, Pollywog. Pollywog is our 2-year-old that comes to a lot of classes. Good. Now these are called roly-poly guacamoles. And here's how I teach this. Put your hands together and go like this. Other way. I had piano class today at community college, and it was the first day that I didn't eat a bunch of crap in class during a solo. So I was pretty proud of myself. Pride cometh before a fall. Good. Now this is called shake and poop off of your hands. Now my hands are pretty flappy, so the fingers slap together and make noise. I think that's what that is. Either that or my bones are coming off. Good. And then this is waving hello to your bright future. Hello, 2024, best year ever. Then you can go, pardon my language, hella fast if you want. Woo! Now cup your hands at your heart, drop your chin, close your eyes. Feel holy, sacred, and reverent for a moment. What do you feel reverent and sacred toward? That's of your own choice, of course. We are calm, peaceful souls. Boy, I needed to do some yoga. I was fading there. Yoga always, always, always makes me feel better. And it has for 50 years since I was 2 years old. Good. Inhale up. Up you go. And exhale out. Okay, now palms up, external rotation. Can you touch your elbows together? That means you have an excellent carrying angle. I can't. My bones don't shape that way. And just lean forward into your wrists. Drop your chin, close your eyes, and find a nice middle ground of sensation. Mezzo piano, that's what we learned in vocal class today. Now you can walk your dogs a little bit. That means oscillating side to side if that gives you a little more happiness in your stretch. Sometimes I like the feeling of being rocked. I like just soothing yin yoga. Good. Now a pose that I made up. I've never seen anybody else teach it. So if you ever do this, I get a royalty. Just sit country style for a sec, kind of unflattering. Arms out, internal, out turtle, in turtle, out. These are good for you. Good. Now all the internal rotation you got. Hands behind your back for handcuffs. Bring your hands up. Put the back of your wrists in your armpits, chickens, and then elbows inside your knees. And I have friends that can actually squeeze their elbows together because they're super flexible. And I've got friends who can't come close. I don't want all my friends to be super flexible. It's Wednesday. We're in no hurry to get to the next better pose. It feels like a lot of my life is one of these days when everything works out, I'm going to be super happy, and then I miss the moment, which is kind of sad. Because this is the damn good moment. Okie doke. That's enough of that. My paws. Now, show me your hands and feet. Plant them and bottoms up. A good stretch for most humans most of the time. If you can lift your hips higher than your knees, then good for you. Lift up. Good, and come on down. Now, even with my froggy Kermit the Frog laryngitis voice, I'm going to chant Om anyway, because what's the worst that can happen? Chant Om with me. You're muted, so Ethel Merman, if you want, just belt it out. Bother the neighbors. That's what I always say. Inhale. Feel that? By the way, welcome to PK, joining from New York City. Wow, I'm honored to have you on board. That's super cool. Good. Now, here two are my favorite affirmations. You can steal them from me if you'd like. We are calm and peaceful souls, and everything is always working out for us. I didn't used to believe that, but I've said it a million times, and I'm leaning in that direction. Everything is always working out, even when it seems like it isn't. Okay, we'll do a little more joint juice and then restorative. So I'm going to take my right shin into Virasana, half hero's pose, Ardha Virasana. Good. Now, way back in the day when I was a teenager, I could lace my hands behind my head and I could bring my right elbow all the way down to the floor. And now that I'm an adult, sort of, I can't go that far. But I've given up comparing myself to other people. Comparison is the thief of joy. Close your eyes, and this gets a lot of different parts of our body. Gives the guts a good squeeze. If your right elbow hits the floor, you're what's called hypermobile, and you almost need to back off a little bit if you're that flexible, but most of us, this is good for most. Good, kitty cats, and come on up. And I'm going to stretch my hands up to the top of my cat tower. This is called Parvatasana, arm extending up pose. Fancy name for extending your arms up. Can you extend your arms and close your eyes and relax your shoulders all at the same time? That's pretty cool. Inhale. On exhale, open your eyes, turn to the right as far as you do. Relax your hands down. If you're a bendy bear, your left hand will grab your right ankle. If you're an average bear, you can grab your right hip and just look around behind you. If you're fabulously flexible, your right arm will go behind your back and grab your left shin, but try not to think about that too much. Every pose is a prayer. Inhale here. And exhale, release. Good. We should do a little back bend, don't you think? How about half of a camel? Ardha Ustrasana, pause behind you and bottoms up. Maybe you can scarcely get your buns up off the floor. Welcome. And if you're just one of those extra bendy back benders, just go buck wild and enjoy it. But it's yin class, so don't overdo it. Good, kitty cats, and come on down. Very good. Now we're going to drag our poor right leg out of there. And we're going to open up our acetabulum, our hip joint. You thought I was going to say a bad word there. Other way. Woo! Good. Now, my right elbow will go underneath. It just will. And if yours doesn't, that's okay. Maybe you're hanging on for dear life. You'll get a little more flexible in every class. If your left elbow goes under, I got a haircut today and I'm going to scratch my head up. So this opens up your clown chakra if you can reach up and scratch your hair. And if you can't, give it 2 weeks. Smell your foot. Scratch your head. It's real yoga. Trust me, even though you may have no baseline for trusting me. Good. All right. Now, take the anterior malleolus and extend it outside your knee. That means put the pointy thing over here. And if you're hella tight, your knee will be up and you'll be like, I hate this pose. Otherwise, your knee will drop and you'll be in yogasana. Crack your toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I was 0 for 5 on cracking my toes, and what the hell's wrong with me? And crank a doodle dandy on your ankle. 1, 2. When I first started doing this, my ankle would scarcely move, and now it's opened up a bit. So wherever you are, you can get better. That's the main thing. Progress, not perfection. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's kind of nice just to be patient, take a little time with your body and some self-care. Okie doke. Big hugs. Grab your elbows. And this is called voguing, when you make your elbows go side to side. Now, when I first started doing this, my whole torso would do it because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But now that I know slightly more of what I'm doing, just slightly, I just do my elbows instead. Arms up, release out, palms open. Now, right arm under and grab your shoulders. Kind of make out with yourself for a second. Oh, where have I been all this time? Good. Now, if you can fold your arms up, do that. If you can't, just keep your shoulders on your hands. That was awkwardly said. And just move your elbows up and down, and this does stuff. Good. Maybe take your elbows around in a big whopping circle to get out the stuff that happened in the 3rd grade. Other way. Ugh. I never don't feel this. I always feel this. I'm always getting into some new territory in my mind and body, and I hope to never stop that. Good. Now I'm going to take my chest, elbows, and face all the way to the right as far as I can. Good. Tilt your head to the right, drop your chin, close your eyes, be a calm and peaceful soul. Even if you're not, fake it till you make it. Good kitty cats. By the way, if you're new to me and why am I calling you a kitty cat? That's a term of endearment for me. Inhale up for an Om, belt it out. Anjali, Anjali Mudra, prayer pose, hands at your heart, drop your chin. Close your eyes. And I invite you, if you're a praying person, to say a prayer for yourself. I think I've heard some spiritual people say you shouldn't pray for yourself, and I think they're nuts, but I think it's good to pray for ourselves. Bless yourself. Prayer is our most powerful activity, in my humble opinion. Very good. Now, take these opposable thumbs that the dolphins are so jealous of, and I'm gonna massage Talar Hridaya, the energy center of the middle center bottom of my foot. Hridaya means heart, so middle center bottom of your foot associates with your heart. So if you're really pissed off at somebody, just work it out with your feet. Of course, you've probably reconciled everything in your life. You have no more anger left. Yeah, me neither. Good. Now hold steady pressure. Close your eyes. Be a calm and peaceful soul. That's a very spicy part of my foot. I feel that. I like feeling things in my life now. I used to try to run from feelings, and then they caught me. They caught me, and they got me. Good. All right. Good job. Now, we're going to do a little twist, and I'm going to give you some options because maybe you're really stiff or maybe you're really flexible. So this covers everything. If you're pretty tight, just take a little turn to the right. If you can slide your right knee on top of your left knee, then good for you. Does that make you better than everybody else? Yeah, it does. This is called Gomukhasana, pose of the cow face. Okay. If you can't do it, make something up. About 80% of what I do, I had to make up because of all the complexity I saw from yoga teachers. And I was like, Can't do that. So I made stuff up, turned it into my own yoga sequence, and I opened a yoga studio. Good. Now, left elbow on your right knee. Look bored and disinterested, which is impossible in my class, I know, but just fake it. Now, if you're bendy, or take your elbow outside your knee and I'm shifting my guts over to the right a little bit. And back in the day, I'd bring both my elbows down and blah, blah, blah. Close your eyes. Be yourself. Everybody else is taken. Twists are good. They squeeze out the residue of ancient physical holding, mental patterns, emotional junk. Drop your chin. Good. Exhale all the air out. And come out of a twisty on an inhale is a good idea for most of us, unless you're like 3 years old and can do anything all the time. All right, now let's fold our left shin under. We'll try to remember to do the whole sequence on the other side. I'll probably leave out about 3 of the moves. So this is my side where my meniscus says, not too much on this side. So that's okay. Lace your hands behind your head and tilt your left elbow all the way down to the floor. If it doesn't go, it just means that's room to grow. Maybe turn your chest up a little bit. So what does this open up? Ankle, knee, hip, chest, elbow, everything. This opens up everything, but mostly your mind. Soft hands on the back of your head. This is good for my left liver. How many livers do we have again? Breathe. Yin yoga, Y-I-N. Why I in this pose so long? Good. We'll inhale up. We'll push our palms up in Parvatasana, arms extending to top of cat tree pose. Turn left, 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 left. Relax your hands down. If you're bendy, your right hand grabs your left ankle. If you're medium, do what you do. Now look behind you and see who's chasing you. Just because you're not paranoid doesn't mean somebody's not following you. Look around behind you. Get a good twist. Relax your shoulders, chin level, eyes closed. Are you an impatient person? Do you like to just go, 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 go all the time? If you don't like the way I drive to yoga class, get the hell off the sidewalk kind of person, that's me. So I have to slow down deliberately sometimes. Inhale here and come out. That's why for me, yin yoga was a real revelation. Good. Now, Ardha Ustrasana, half a camel. That just means puff up, kids, bottoms up. If you're wildly flexible, hips to the ceiling, head on the floor. And if you're not there, good for you. But if you lift up, you'll stretch, you'll counterpose from sitting all day long. Little higher just for me. You'd do it for me, wouldn't you? I'd do it for you. And come on down. Good job. Yeah, that's it. Drag your left leg out. Get a hold of yourself and open up your acetabulum. That's the name of your hippie joint. Now you can sit, you can go woo. In vocal class, we were doing what are called vocal glides. Woo, except not me with laryngitis. All the 17-year-olds had such beautiful voices. It's fun to be 66 years old when a bunch of 18-year-olds in class. Good. Left elbow under if you can. This is French service from the left, yes? Now, maybe you're like, oh, I can't even get my foot. Just come to every one of my classes for the rest of your life. Right elbow under. and exfoliate your head. And I'm talking scratching, man. It illuminates while it exfoliates. It's good to stimulate and scratch your clown chakra. Maybe you like your hair pulled, not by one of your siblings. Scratch up. Ow, that's enough, especially on a day of a haircut. Good, now take the pointy thing on the outside. It's called the pointy thing. Set it there. Take your arm out so it doesn't get ripped off accidentally. Ta-da! This pose is ta-da for. Now, grab your elbows and switch it the weird feeling way. Bring it up. Good, Laura. Side to side. Ever seen Jim Carrey do this in his comedy routine? His arm comes all the way over. It looks terrifying. Side to side. Oh, I like this. It just gets that tight junk in my intercostals. Side side. Good, now brings him down. And Kate Winslet on the Titanic. Stretch out. Wider. Wider. That's an interesting instruction. Wider. Really? Pull back. Left arm under. Good. Now just make out with yourself. Would you go steady with yourself? I don't know. Sometimes I'm in couples counseling with myself. Good. Now fold your arms up if they do. If they don't even trip. Ups and downs. I had this horrible dream the other day that when you die, you go to heaven, they give you a flexibility test. And if you can't do some poses, they send you back. So that's actually hell. That's not heaven. Good, now make some circles. Woo! Oh, golly. Other way. If I don't do this 2-3 times a week, I am as tight as a boiled owl. Good, now straight up and down, wonderful posture. Turn super left, 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 left. Tilt your head to the left, drop your chin, even tilt your forearms to the left if you're bending. And just wait for it. We are calm, peaceful souls. Good, kids. And then bring it back up and out. Oh, that's a good stretch. Okay, now we're going to do some really nice self-care. We're going to do a yoga mudra. If you're in the mudra, I'm going to grab my left wrist with my right hand. And if I just make circles on my lower back, that's where the cortisol and all the exciting stuff comes squirting out. So I'm going to just kind of massage my lower back, and it feels better when somebody else does it. But sometimes you got to take matters into your own hands. Other way. Yeah, that feels pretty good. When is the restorative yoga? Quit asking so many questions. All right, now, maybe you're pretty tight and you're already watch me lean forward. You want to see it again? Maybe you're more flexibler than that and you can come all the way down. Drop your head, drop your chin. Now, if you come forward, you don't want your buns flying up off the floor. So I want you to create a nice balance between your head and your hips. Stop thinking. I'm the only yoga teacher I've ever heard say, stop thinking. Because you can do it. Roki doki and come on up. I promise a restorative pose after this. I better. Good, now. We're going to do one more. I went to a yoga class and a reflexology class broke out. We're going to take our thumbs into Kashipra. It's a marma point on the bottom of your foot. It's just south of your big toe metatarsal. And it associates with vision, not just physical vision, but psychic, spiritual vision. Dig into that weird point just south of your big toe metatarsal. Ooh, that is perky. Good, now I'm gonna push my thumbnail in there. I'm gonna hold steady pressure. I'm gonna drop my chin. I'm gonna close my eyes. And I'm gonna let vision pour into me, because without vision, people perish. When you have vision, you don't have to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. Have you ever gotten into a relationship with the same person even though they were different? Me too. All right. Now, I'm going to slide my left knee on top of my right. Don't worry if you can't do that. Just take one more little twisty to the left. If your knees line up, spectacular. And then right elbow on your left knee, look bored and disinterested. Then I'm going to shift my elbow over here. And then on a good day with enough coffee, both of my elbows will come all the way down. I missed Laura in class last night. I wonder where she was, just as an aside. So this class is on YouTube. People in Tasmania and Poland, and they don't know these references. And some of these are people I've done yoga with on Zoom since the pandemic, people I've known for a long time. So we're just one big happy family. Now, if you're really back in the day, my teacher would come over and he would sit on me in this pose, and I didn't like it so much. He liked it. He had a very high pain threshold for my pain. Exhale all the air out, kitty cats. And come out of that horrible squishy pose. We should counter pose after that, don't you think? So, bottoms up, cheers for rears, up you go. Now, one of your friends is going to crawl underneath you. That's kind of weird, I know. And so you don't know them that well. So really lift up high and come on down. All right, now, if you don't do a restorative pose, I'm never coming to your class ever again. So I know a threat when I hear one. Now, I don't know if you guys have bolsters or not. I hope you do. When I closed my yoga studio after the pandemic, I gave all of my friends one of my bolsters, but maybe you're new and from New York. So here's a bolster, or you could use a stack of blankets like that, okay? I'm gonna massage my bolster a little bit. It needs some love too. Now this is a restorative twist, my favorite one. I'm gonna spin my knees over to my left. I'm going to slide my right side of my hip, my greater trochanter, in, and I'll put my right hand on the bolster. So far, so good. Thumbs up. Now, here's the tricky part. You take your knees and your ankles, and you shift them around behind you. My knees, I'm in mermaid pose. I cross my ankles. That really pins my lower body in. Now I'm bringing my chest back to you guys. Both hands on the bolster, push into the bolster, lean back. By the way, a couple blankets works fine. 2 pillows, your dog, if you have a big dog. My cat's almost big enough. Good, now even this is a good stretch for, I forgot what this is. This is called this stuff right here. Now my right hand goes over here, and because it's almost daylight savings time, we're gonna move the bolster over 1 hour to 1 o'clock. Now I'm going to take my belly button and my sternum and my chest. I'm going to aim it down, and then very, very, very slowly come down to your right ear, and then take your arms into cactus arms. And I really like this pose. And then we're just going to cook in this pose for 2 minutes. If I was there, I'd put a bunch of sandbags on you. Relax. Drop in. Whew. Let's give time on this one. Okay, now we're kind of at the halfway point, so relax twice as much. If you're a pretty flexible person, you could come up and go a little more and come down to your left ear. I'm going to leave that entirely up to you. If you're pretty happy where you are, why should I bother you? Relax, plenty of time. Good. Now stay in the pose, relax more, and take the biggest inhale you can in this obstructed position. Big inhale, big outhale, let it all go. Let's just do this for the rest of the night. What do you think? If you were silly and went to your left ear, go back to your right ear. Kind of pull your hands in, your elbows into your side, plant your hands, and come out of this one extra super slow motion, like a moth trying to extract itself from amber. All right, that was good. I like that one because it smashes my face and makes me smile bigger. So now I'm going to drag my legs back around to the front. I'm going to square up my bolster back to 12 o'clock. I'm going to square up my seated position. So we're back to square one. Going to give my bolster a good kitty. Where's my cat? Looney, kitty, kitty, kitty. Now I'm going to take my knees and rotate them 90 degrees to the right. Slide in the side of my hip. Left hand on the bolster to support my body as we now together fold our knees and our ankles around behind us into mermaid pose. This is the pose the mermaid does on the chicken of the sea cans. Cross your ankles. Now I'm going to turn back to you guys. I'm going to push both my hands in. I'm going to lean way back, and this stretches stuff that never gets stretched, unless you do yoga. My yoga. Don't do anybody else's yoga. All right, now put your left hand over here. And daylight savings time, take your bolster over to 11 o'clock. Now, just for fun, take your right thumb into your belt. My teacher back in the day, you had to push your thumb all the way in through your guts until you could touch your spine. I am not kidding. Nobody liked it. Good. Now I'm going to aim my chest down my bolster, and then left ear for happy happiness. Ah. Widen your elbows out. And back in the yoga studio days for restorative yoga, I'd come by and put 3 sandbags on your back. And at least 2 or 3 minutes. Yay. Okay, then fully optional is just coming up enough to shift over onto my right ear if I'm feeling like super bendy, and some days I do and some days I don't. I'm going to leave that up to you. Settle back in. Good. Now stay in the pose. Take the biggest inhale you can, which isn't that big, really big one though. Exhale, let go of your bones, bag of bones, sack of clams. Let go and let God, so to speak, your language. Now, if you were silly and went onto your right ear, revolve back to your left ear. Pull your hands in and come out in extra, extra, super slow motion. Pet your cat on the way up. I saw that. Kitty, 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 kitty. When you're doing yoga, always leave cat treats out for your cat. If you're a dog person, you're welcome to come to my class. Now, we're almost ready for Shavasana, and we're going to do a famous yin pose called Happy Baby. If you haven't done it, it's like, I think that most humans would be well served by having a little blanket roll underneath their neck. Now, I will demonstrate if you've not seen it before, but I bring this underneath my neck. Now, if you're really tight, this is Happy Baby pose, and boy, are you glad that you found this class. Otherwise, you grab your great toes, and it's this. Your football goalpost, you are Happy Baby. Now, if you're really flexible, you don't need a blanket underneath your neck, but I find when my knees come in, my spine shortens and my chin flies up. And when I have this much nasal congestion, I could drown in my own snot if I'm not careful. So I want to have a blanket underneath my neck. And I want to, when I was in my 20s, my knees were on the floor, my butt wouldn't even lift. And we'll do this for about a half an hour, half a minute. Now it sinks in, doesn't it? It sinks in. It goes through our koshas, yoga terminology for the layers of our body. Annamaya kosha, fleshy body. Pranamaya kosha, emotional body. Manomaya kosha, thought body. Vinyamaya kosha, wisdom body. And before you know it, we're at Anandamaya kosha, bliss, ecstasy body. If we're lucky and we've been good. One more minute. Relax your shoulders. They're vacuuming next door. I think I'll go beat on the wall and yell at them. That would be yogic of me. I do yoga not because I'm a spiritual master, but because kind of a jerk and try to get better. Oh, this is sinking in now, kitty cats. Right about now, the pose begins just when you want to get out of it. Just like marriage. Marriage begins the second you want to get out of it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your feet up into Viparita Karani. Just legs straight up for a moment. Really good for you. Now, it being 7 o'clock on the Pacific coast, 10 o'clock New York time, I'm going to slide the bolster underneath my knees. And the kids are going to do 5 minutes of yay Shavasana together. And I shan't even bother you at all. Relax. Cover yourself with blankets if you want. Good night, Helga. I love you. Stick around through Shavasana. And if you're a Zoomer, we even say hello at the end. It's pretty fun. But for 5 minutes, absolutely nothing. Jiggle your legs out a little bit. Lift your left and right butt cheek. Get any dents out of your bottom. Swallow once. In we go. And the pose starts now, no rush. Let your eyes drop back. Relax your nose. Okay, beautiful friends, relax, stay in the pose, relax even more. There's that guy's voice from a million miles away. If you're new to my class, this is something I frequently do at the end, and it's always by choice. But if you'd like to invite God, love, source, infinite, higher, organizing, whatever you like to call it in, this is a good time. Good. Breathe your way back into your beautiful earth suit. Wiggle your fingers and toes and circulate extra super feel good through yourself. Ecstasy, joy, bliss. And when you're ready, curl onto your right side. Take your time, nice and slow. Love all over yourself. Good. Now, keep your eyes closed when you sit up. That keeps a sense of center. Spiritual proprioception, I call it. Proprioception in English. Good. We'll sit up together. We'll bring our hands to our heart in humility. Close our eyes. If you go deep into you and I go deep into me, we come to the same place together. And all together we say, Namaste. Now, per usual ritual, I bid adieu to the YouTubers first. Thanks for liking and subscribing. We're obviously getting all over the world if we have friends coming in.